We've been hearing from residents all this morning. Gas stations across Lexington County and many parts of the Midlands were packed yesterday. So many people trying to fill up their tanks as well as their generators, all to help them out while they are still without power. So we're going to go ahead and send things now over to Shannon Taylor this morning, who is live in Lexington with the latest. So Shannon, how's the traffic now?
Well, Chrissy, just like you said, a lot of people are still getting gas. And right now I'm here at one of those gas stations in Lexington where, you know, a lot of people are here still getting gas. Now, it's definitely a more calm sight than it was yesterday. As we saw yesterday, our team here at News 19 was here talking with people getting gas, and lines were, believe it or not, up the line, and it was even blocking some of the first responders and law enforcement, kind of stopping them from getting people or getting to people to help. And as you can see right now, people are still getting gas. Now, we've been out here since a little after 6 a.m. this morning, and people were still out here getting gas, and people are still here now in our 8 o'clock hour now. So far, like you said, Chrissy, a lot of people are without power. And when I got here earlier today, I spoke with the clerk inside, and she said that this particular gas station even ran out of gas 2 times. They're currently out of water and currently still out of ice, but they're still working hard to make sure that people have fuel. And that's kind of the only thing people are still allowed to get right now as they work to wait just for their power to be restored. And as everyone in the state line knows, the impacts of Tropical Storm Helene. But you know, I'm still out here, and I even spoke to someone who was getting gas earlier, and we'll be hearing from them later on in our 8:30 hour. But for right now, Chrissy, I'm just going to keep monitoring people out here getting gas. But right now, I'm here in Lexington. News 19. I'll send it back over to you.
All right, Shannon, thank you so much. Stay safe out there. Yeah, you heard it definitely from her. A lot of people still without power today, even right over here. Neighbors in Night Harbor out in Chapin, hit hard by Helene. Trees, crews out there working hard to try to help with all of that damage. We actually spoke with the Clark family about the damage that they saw. Christy Clark says that several large trees actually fell in her yard, 2 of them damaging her bedroom window, the roof, and even her husband's car. She told us what that moment was like when her daughter was sitting on her bed telling her about a nightmare.
Glass all over the bed. My daughter cut her head. Glass all over me. It was insane. It was just everywhere. And you're not really expecting it. You know, you're like, okay, something just came through. Then you see the branches and you're like, that was a tree.
Now, she says that she is very thankful that it wasn't worse that her family had as compared to others who are dealing with much more of the aftermath of right now what it was, the tropical storm Helene. And moving over to Newberry County, the storm has killed a couple there. The Newberry County coroner has said that 49-year-old Robert Wise and 48-year-old Valencia Jones Wise has died when a tree fell on their vehicle. The coroner says this all happened Friday morning around 9:30 on Chapman Road in the Little Mountain area. Sheriff Lee Foster says not long before that, police spoke to the couple regarding blocked roads from fallen trees. Then minutes later, police were notified about a tree falling on a vehicle.
Rescue squad and fire department were right there. I mean, they were right there. And they had equipment right there. And they did, along with a couple neighbors, they did everything they could to get the tree off the vehicle and extricate them from the car. But unfortunately, it was not meant to be.
And prayers go out to that family this morning. Now, the Newberry County Coroner's Office and the South Carolina Highway Patrol are still investigating. Meanwhile, the city of Newberry has also opened a shelter at Newberry High School. According to the county government, the shelter is open for anyone in need of assistance and will be open all night. However, pets are not allowed and there is limited ability to charge your devices. This morning at 10 o'clock, the city of Newberry will be opening their charging and cooling center, which will be at the Firehouse Conference Center. It's on 1227 McKibben Street, which is next to the Opera House. And also in Newberry, students will now have an e-learning day on Monday. That's tomorrow. That's according to the latest update from the Newberry County School District. The school district says that they will also be announcing food pickup locations very soon. The district says they will be assessing the situation and provide another update by 1 o'clock tomorrow. And with all these power outages and damage, many of you have questions about the impacts of Helene and what you need to do next. Well, the South Carolina emergency officials are here to help. They've opened a Hurricane Helene hotline. The number for the hotline is right there on your screen this morning. According to emergency officials, it will be open 24 hours a day and will be available as long as needed. So when you call, operators will be able to answer questions about the state's response to the storm and about precautions that you should be taking. Well, looking around the state right now over in Williamsburg County, a family who has lived in a home for more than 20 years is left picking up the pieces after a tree fell on their home due to the storm. Lane Taylor and his family have never experienced storm damage like this before, and most of that damage was to their daughter's room. Taylor says he woke up to his wife screaming from the living room once the tree fell. This also comes a week after he suffered a heart attack. Taylor says he's now surrounded by a community of people to keep his spirits high in difficult times.
Everything's going to work out just fine. I don't have a doubt in my mind that this isn't going to take care of itself and things will work out in the long run.
Now, Taylor says the insurance adjuster will be there today, and he expects to end up having to get a completely new mobile home due to the extent of this damage. Also in Hanahan, which is just north of Charleston, the same thing happened to the Hollins family who lived in their mobile home since 1986. For 40 years, the family always went to sleep at night thinking one day a tree was going to come down through their home. And this week, well, it became a reality. The roof, the walls, and cars were all destroyed. Across the street and downtown area there, neighbors were safe. Jamie Lewis, whose family used to own the park, still lives nearby. He and his daughter made the rounds checking on neighbors.
No, our benchmark is pretty much Hugo, because I was here during Hugo. And actually we've had some damage during that, but this is worse than that.
It was crazy seeing this for the first time in person because I've never actually seen a real life storm like this bad in person. And it's like way worse than Ian was.
Now, the Hollins family are still taking in the total devastation of their situation, but thankfully everybody got out okay. And you got to take a look at this incredible video out of Spartanburg this morning. Let's go ahead and take a look at all of that water there. Yards, streets completely covered with those downed trees as well as the water. As of right now, 70% of residents in Spartanburg remain without power this morning. Duke Energy say that they hope power outages in the area could be fixed by tonight or earlier. And over in Asheville, North Carolina, search and rescue efforts are still underway as the area continues to deal with extreme flooding. Over in western North Carolina, thousands are still without power this morning. Many in the city are saying that they still have no cell service in the region as well. As of right now, the city of Asheville completely isolated as all roads in and out of the city are now cut off. And the Carolinas aren't the only ones feeling the effect. Over in Florida, many evacuation orders are now being lifted. People are heading home to begin that cleanup process as power is beginning to be restored in that area. Our sister station over in Tampa has the latest from Siesta Key as some residents begin to start over.
Look at all my furniture.
Charmaine LaPatarelle will have to start over.
We're going to have to curbside it all. It's all mess. Everything's gone.
But before replacing what she's lost, her family is furiously cleaning.
You don't even straight away get mold.
What she can't replace are the photo albums soaked in salt water.
So I'm hoping I can save these, but I don't think so because this is all, like I don't know if it's going to do anything. But life happens. What are you going to do?
Water is still flooding streets and the debris piles are stacking up. But at Daiquiri Deck downtown, a burst of joy and hope from owner Troy Cyprit right in the middle of our interview.
You just saw the power come on. That's a huge thing. Now if they can keep it up, we can get open tomorrow because that was the last step. They just brought the water up earlier today and having the power come up right now, that's a big thing. And it's not just big for me, but it's big for everybody.
As people here face a once-in-a-lifetime challenge, it's restaurants like this one that can help with the daily task of staying fed.
But we'll be a place that people that don't have kitchens, that are trying to move back into their houses but don't have the ability to cook, they have a place to go eat.